Hey guys, Devin here with Admiral Off-Road, and today I was going through some old video files and I found some clips from when I put frame stiffeners and rock sliders on the Cherokee, so I thought I would share those with you. Unfortunately, I don't have the part where I actually welded them on. I don't know what happened to my welding part, but I have all the preparation process and some before and after pictures. The welding itself is pretty easy if you know how to weld. The process is a lot easier if you have two jacks. So if you got a buddy with a jack or you just have two jacks at home, it's going to be a lot easier than if you try and just do it with one. You're going to want to jack the frame stiffeners up as tight as you can against the unibody rail, and then you're just going to start welding. Be aware that the unibody itself is a lot thinner than the stiffeners you're going to be welding on, so take it nice and slow. Don't punch holes through your unibody by welding too hot. So just take it nice and easy, spread your welds out, and you'll be okay. If you're putting rock sliders on, once you're done putting the frame stiffeners on there, you have two options. You can either use self-tapping screws sometimes, or you can just weld them on. I opted to weld mine on. My sliders were homemade, and so I didn't put anything for self-tappers in there. And it's just kind of a pain. Now you have to drill through your stiffeners, and the unibody itself is just a lot tougher than drilling through your unibody. So if you've already got the welder out, you just weld it on your stiffeners. Go ahead and weld on those rock sliders as well. In the video, you'll see my rock sliders. Those are just homemade DOM tubing. They're 1.5" 120 wall DOM. And the frame stiffeners are from Ruffstuff. They're 3/16 inch thick. I know some of them are a little bit thinner than that. There's a bunch of different companies that make stiffeners for the Cherokees. I opted with the Ruffstuff. One of the main reasons was it was thick, and it had holes already in it, so I can do plug welds. Some of the other ones don't really have those holes in there, so you either have to drill them yourself or go without. So if you're still hanging around and you want to watch the preparation process and some before and after pictures, let's get started. Before we can start welding our unibody stiffeners on, or our frame stiffeners, first thing we have to do is remove all this undercoating. You can see it's kind of a textured coating on the bottom of the unibody rails. That's got to come off before we can weld. You can't really weld through it, and it also makes the stiffeners not sit quite well on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take an angle grinder and a wire wheel and see if I can take all that underbody coating off. So now that we got the unibody rails all cleaned up, next thing I got to do is take off my control arm drop box braces. So we're on the driver's side here. There's my control arm, there's my drop box, and here's this brace that goes on it. To take it off, I got 4 bolts on this side and 2 that go into the cross member there. So I just got to take those off, and that way I'm going to be able to take off the brace there. That's going to allow me to get to the front of the unibody rail. So if you look over here on the passenger side, I've already done that. Sorry, it's a little dark outside. It's about 6 a.m. So I'm working with a light. But so here's those bolts on the other side. You can see that now I can get to the frame rail because I've taken off that brace. So I've got that control arm brace off now. Next thing is going to be priming it. Since we took all that metal off, and even though we're welding something over top of it, we don't want it to rust. So I got this, let's see if we can see it, just Rust-Oleum automobile primer. I'm probably going to have to take this off where I'm going to be welding it, but I want to give it a nice quick coat before we try and weld anything on it. Alright, so everything on the Jeep now is all primed and ready. We got the unibody rails primered, we got the braces off of the control arm drop brackets, so we are ready to go. When I go to actually put on the stiffeners, what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to drop my cross member one more time, and that's going to allow me to put the unibody stiffeners in place. There's one more thing we're going to actually have to do to the stiffeners. Since I still have my short arms, I'm going to have to cut off the first about 6 inches of them. That's what we're going to do next. So I got the frame stiffeners all measured up. I got a line here where I'm going to be cutting them. Again, this is because I have my short arm still. So this front half is made. If you have long arms, you can keep it on there. If not, you're just going to cut it off right there. So let's get cutting. Alright guys, thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please put them down below. And if you like what you saw here, please like and subscribe. Thanks.